Good morning, this is Dr. Sage Breslin, and this is Wisdom Wednesdays. So I'm laughing because I'm out walking the dog in the rain, and I've tried to shoot this video 4 times. And the reason I'm laughing is because what I wanted to talk with you about this morning is just how difficult it can be when you are just challenged and can't seem to ground. And so I'm laughing at myself because it was difficult to even just get the phone up and record. So, what do you do? What do you do when you are so destabilized, and compromised by the monkey mind, the spinning mind, and spinning energy, and just even your physical being struggling to just calm. And I'm so aware that there are great, sorry, got to spin, get out of the leash. There are so many great interventions for, taking care of that, grounding, settling down, EMDR, EFT, medications, all sorts of interventions. And I think it's amazing how popular actually this has become just as a subject because we are so destabilized. Let the traffic go by. And, so I wanted to just talk about some simple tactics, right? You don't have to call the therapist. You don't have to sign up for a new program. You don't need to get a new device. And these simple tactics may not solve it all, okay? But if you are not sleeping, if your mind is waking you up in the middle of the night, or even your body, heart racing, palpitations, not a heart attack, just disquieted and, disabled by the stress of the day, then let's focus on what can you do. All right, so my number one thing is breathe, right? Okay, it's involuntary. Most of us are gonna breathe, but maybe not always the way that will be helpful to our beings, right? Our body's just gonna breathe because it needs to breathe, but sometimes our breathing needs to quiet the being in a different way, right? So sometimes the breathing actually needs to be longer, further apart. 4 square breathing is my favorite because I can count to 4 easily, even in the middle of the night. Taking that deep breath in as you count to 4, holding it as you count to 4, exhaling as you count to 4, and then holding it again as you count to 4. Sometimes what that can do is, number one, gets oxygen to your brain, which is always good. Because I think when we're stressed, of course, we just kind of stop breathing or we hold our breaths. But it also, I think, just gives you this sort of consistency, this regularity, right? This structure in the 4 square, right? So that's my first one. My second one is something that my yoga teacher loves to say. And when she's, can't sleep at night, she'll tell herself, you are not your stress. You are not your anxiety. And I love that because what it does is it separates that anxiety or that worry or that concern or stress, and it makes it separate from the being that you are, right? I love to tell people, you are not the mind, you are not the emotions, you are not the physical body, but you are the being that lives inside that meat suit. And, so if you're not sleeping at night, being able to say to your being, hey, I hear you, I get it, something's going on, we need to calm, but you are not all of that stuff. You are that being inside, and you can be separate, and that being can be quiet, and that being can sleep and take a break. So that's my second one. My third one is It's simple if you have people, right? It's not so simple if you don't, which is surround yourself with like others. Surround yourself with people that understand you, who see you, who feel you, who get you, and who can support you. Now, like I said, great if you have people. That's so wonderful if you don't have people. So in that case, if you don't have people, look beyond just your normal structure, right? Look at the internet. It's not great because you can't see those people, but even looking at a forum where other people are talking about maybe what's worrying you, and you can kind of at least feel the sense of normalcy. Other people are dealing with these issues, and got it. Not everybody's going to be dealing with it well or the way you would like to, but just the sense that you're part of something greater, right? You're part of a community that's trying to deal with a particular issue, and it could be just mental health in general. Or it could be something specific like PTSD or cancer, right? And so trying to gather that tribe around you, no matter how you have to do that, can be a really wonderful way just to remind your being that it is part of a greater whole. Which leads me to number 4, which honestly always should be number 1. You are part of a greater whole. There is a being that you're connected with if you choose to be. And whether that being is an energetic mass, whether it is something more, anthropomorphized or humanized, that's on you. If you have a faith-based system that you love, great. Whatever works for you, but really acknowledging that you are part of a greater source being will always remind you you're not alone. And I think when we're super stirred up, just knowing that we're not alone goes a long way. All right. So 4 tips for quieting. And if you can, utilize some other professional resources, that's great too. And if I can help in any way, let me know. This is Wisdom Wednesdays, and this is Dr. Sage Breslin.